We are live. Let me know if y'all can hear me pretty good. I know y'all can just be coming in here. I'm gonna let some people come in here. Anybody can join the live. Just go to the comment section, man, and come on in. We are live. We're gonna talk about Keith Thurman possibly fighting Errol Spence and other boxing news out there that's going on, man. I haven't been on live in a while, so we're gonna turn it up a little bit, man, because it's a lot of propaganda out here. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let people come on up in here, man. Y'all get on up in here. Let's talk this boxing. Let's get this boxing stuff talked about. Let me see, man. Hold on. We all know that Terrence Crawford has moved on from negotiations with Errol Spence. He's fighting Evan Nation. People mad about him fighting Evan Nation. I want to see the Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. The negotiations was going on way too long, man. I mean, how long do y'all want these guys to negotiate? I mean, they negotiated what, about a month? Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, I think they both said that they wanted to fight this year. So if they couldn't get that fight done, why don't they go ahead and fight somebody else? Now, there's reports out there that not reports. I heard it from the person's mouth. He said that he was gonna make Keith Thurman the mandatory for Errol Spence, and Jose Sulaiman said he's gonna make Keith Thurman the number one or the mandatory for Errol Spence. I know. Look, people. I know they don't remember what happened, but Errol Spence did not lose the WBC title. He lost the WBA title against Manny Pacquiao, but he never relinquished. He never lost the WBC title in the ring. What he did was he relinquished it. Jose Sulaiman said he was a champion in merit. Anytime he wanted to challenge for the belt, he could challenge for the belt. He let Sean Porter and Danny Garcia fight for the title. If everybody remember that. So me seeing Jose Sulaiman making Keith Thurman the number one contender or the mandatory is not surprising to me. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember that whole situation with Keith Thurman. But Errol Spence saying that he don't want to fight Keith Thurman. He's saying he's still butthurt about Keith Thurman not giving him a shot back in the day when he was a young pup coming up. And this is my thing. You can't have it both ways. See, Errol Spence, now that Enos want to fight you, and he also want to fight Terrence for that matter, but Enos want to fight you. Enos is in the same position you was when you wanted to fight Keith Thurman. I think actually Enos got more fights than what you had. I think you had like 15, 16 fights when Floyd Mayweather came out there and said he wanted you to fight Keith Thurman and he was going to put his belt on the line. I mean, vacate his belt. So you doing to Enos what you say Keith Thurman did to you. But nevertheless, man, you got to fight Keith Thurman anyway. He's one of the best welterweights of this era. Keith Thurman was a unified champion just like you. He was a unified champion, but now you got 3 titles. He beat Danny Garcia. He beat Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? So you saying that you don't want to fight him don't make any sense. If you don't like the guy, this is boxing, man. You can go in there and put hands on a person. You can kill a man in the ring. You can actually assault a man and kill a man and don't even go to jail for it. So I'm not saying it's to that point to where you want to kill Keith Thurman, but I'm just saying if you have beef with the man, go beat him up in the ring. Now, me on the other hand, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think now if Keith Thurman was Keith Thurman, then I'll just pick Keith Thurman hands down. But Keith Thurman been in and out, not really in the best of shape. But the last couple years, I've been seeing Keith Thurman walking around in shape, not pudgy faced, look like he's in the gym, like he's dedicating himself in the gym. To me, it's a 50-50 fight. I know a lot of people will say, well, I got Errol Spence stopping Keith Thurman. Well, I don't see Errol Spence stopping Keith Thurman. Oh, he don't like it to the body. Every time Keith Thurman got hit in the body, he recovered very well. His recovery skills are pretty good. Actually, they're really good, right? I never see him get stopped to the body. Yeah, he lost to Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao had a great night that night, a Manny Pacquiao night. Now, I expected Keith Thurman to win the fight, hands down. Keith Thurman didn't get the job done. His only loss is to Manny Pacquiao. Let's not forget that. Keith Thurman only lost to Manny Pacquiao. So let's not act like people are walking around acting like Keith Thurman is a bum. This man is very accomplished as a fighter. Like I said, he's one of the top. He's still one of the top 3 welterweights. To me, he's behind. He's behind. It's Errol Spence. No matter if I think that Terrence Crawford can beat Errol Spence, it's Errol Spence. He got 3 titles. It's Terrence Crawford, and in my mind, it's Keith Thurman because Enos and Ortiz haven't proved anything. All they proved is that they're contenders, that they got through the contender phase and they're contenders now. They have not proven that they're better than Keith Thurman as a welterweight. Just haven't. Now, hopefully soon they will get that chance to prove that they're better than Keith Thurman or Crawford or Spence. But as of right now, man, no, I cannot put, and I get it. People look at Enos, look at his foot speed, his hand speed, his combinations. He knocking guys out who he's supposed to knock out. The guys that they put in front of him and Ortiz, these are the guys that they supposed to look good against. Now, if they struggling with these guys, then it's a problem. It's a problem if they struggling with these guys. But they going in there, they handling business, and doing what they supposed to do. But like I said, I get it. Enos has some pretty good skills. You know what I'm saying? But I will have to see him fight someone when he get in the ring with somebody and I say, okay, this guy that he's getting in the ring with, this guy can probably beat him. Well, this is a 50-50 fight. You know what I'm saying? So until that happen, your skills, the eye test, that's fine. A lot of people can pass the eye test. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people can't pass the test of actually going to that next step as far as going in that ring and showing that the eye test matches what you're doing in the ring. So I have to see that. And that's debatable. It's no knock against Enos. He just had to show. I have to see it. I know people got on Sean Porter when he said he has to see it. You have to see it. I mean, the eye test, like I said, the eye test is only so much. You know what I'm saying? We can't give people top-notch credentials just off the eye test. You actually have to beat someone on that. You have to start putting bodies on your resume. Now, it's people that will say, well, Enos is not having a chance to put bodies on his resume because don't nobody want to fight him. What's wrong with him and Virgil Ortiz fighting each other? To me, they should be fighting. To me, they should be fighting. I don't see why, people will say, well, no, they should be fighting, man. That fight should be going on. And the winner of that fight, they definitely are in line to fight. Well, I think right now, I looked at the WBC the other day. I believe Enos is either he's number 2 in WBC. I think Enos probably ranked in the top 5 in all the sanctioned bodies. I won't be surprised if him and Ortiz is ranked in all the sanctioned bodies. I won't be surprised about that. But hit the link, man. Let's have this discussion. Hit that link. Let's have this discussion. And if Keith Thurman and Errol Spence fight, who y'all got? Like I said, it's a 50-50 fight. I know people, I know a lot of people going to scoff at that, man, and say, oh, man, how could you make it a 50-50 fight, man? I'm making it a 50-50 fight because I think people are selling Keith Thurman way too short. And I mean way too short. It's like people just think like Keith Thurman out here losing to everybody. Now when you say, well, he got hurt versus this guy, he got hurt versus that guy. Okay, a lot of fighters get hurt, man. Floyd got hurt, Roy got hurt, Bernard got hurt versus Kovalev. Roy got knocked out a couple times, 2-3 times. Roy's a tremendous fighter, but he got knocked out two or three times. Floyd got hurt by Chop Corley, got hurt by Maidana. You know what I'm saying? So guys get hurt, man. It happens. But Keith Thurman is not allowed to get hurt. Errol Spence got hurt versus Ugas. Y'all remember when he was looking at the mouthpiece and got stunned versus Ugas? Errol Spence got hurt early in his career when he was fighting this one African dude. I still got that on my channel somewhere. So guys get hurt, man. These guys are not made of steel. It's how you bounce back after you get hurt, man. That's really the thing. How do you bounce back after you get hurt or adversity? Now, if Keith Thurman was out here getting hurt and getting stopped and getting beat up and all this stuff, then you got a point. You know what I'm saying? You got a point. But it's not happening that way, man. Let's talk about some recent heavyweight fights that actually happened. First of all, congratulations to Devin Haney. He went out there, beat George Kambosos for the second time, defended his undisputed championship at 135. And then Lomachenko just won his fight. I know a lot of people say that Lomachenko didn't look good. The guy was out for a year. He had his mind on something else other than boxing. He was out there helping his country in the war. And I thought the guy that he fought, sometimes we have to give the other guy some credit, man. We just can't keep on not giving. It's two fighters in the ring. And I don't think Lomachenko was as sharp as he normally is, but I don't think he looked bad. I thought the guy that he fought, and I really thought the guy that he fought controlled the range, controlled the distance. He was long. He was fast. He was awkward. The guy was fighting southpaw, orthodox. And I thought Lomachenko made adjustments, especially going down the stretch. You will say that, well, the guy, the fighter that he fought, that was his first 12-round fight. I know I was talking on the phone with Hype Low, and he was like, well, the guy never fought 12 rounds. Okay, you don't fight 12 rounds until you fight 12 rounds. I mean, he's a fighter. He trained for 12 rounds. I'm pretty sure he trained for 12 rounds. And he went in there. He did good versus Lomachenko the first 6 rounds. It started changing the back half of the fight. It really started, Lomachenko started controlling the range. Lomachenko started hitting the wood counters. He was going to the body. Lomachenko hurt him a couple times. Lomachenko got heavy hands, even at 35, because Lomachenko's a little dude. Now, Pacquiao was a short dude, but Pacquiao was like compact and had, he looked strong in the ring. I'm not saying Lomachenko don't look strong in the ring, but Pacquiao looked, big in the ring, but he was short. Lomachenko looked small for the weight for 135. Lomachenko is not really a 35er man. Lomachenko at best is 26. He's not a 35er man. These 35ers are a lot of these guys like Devin Haney that he gonna be facing next. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Shakur Stevenson he can possibly face next. These guys are going to be welterweights in about a year and a half. These guys are going to move up to welterweight. You see Do you see Lomachenko moving to welterweight? Do you even see him Lomachenko moving to 140? 140 will be a big stretch for Lomachenko. But nevertheless, he's going to fight Devin Haney. Devin Haney got in the ring. Devin Haney said that he did everything that George Kambosos wanted him to do. He went and beat George Kambosos. Let me get back to that. Let me get on that too, because I had a discussion with Hype Low too about this. He was telling me that yes, I do give Devin Haney credit for beating George Kambosos on his home soil, but it's called the World Championship for a reason. Other guys come here. So George Kambosos came here when he upset it and won the title and became not really undisputed. It was up in the air whether he was undisputed or not. But he came here and won against Teofimo Lopez in America. Remember, he's from Australia. Usyk has come over here and won. Tyson Fury has come over here and won. So, yeah, I'm giving Devin Haney credit, just like I gave Errol Spence credit for going to Sheffield. Just like I gave Crawford credit for going overseas, won his first title. Tim Bradley won his first title overseas. So, yes, that's fine. But it is called a World Championship. So Americans can travel. They can travel and go on to people's soils and win fights. I'm going to give you credit, but I'm not going to go crazy with the credit. Because the other guys come here. Golovkin came here. Guys come here and succeed. So should we give them extra credit because they come here and succeed? No, they're fighters. It's called the World Championships. So let's give them credit, but let's not go overboard. You know what I'm saying? And back to the Devin Haney versus Lomachenko matchup. In this fight, it's going to be a pretty good fight. Now, it's going to be Devin Haney's jab against Lomachenko counterpunching and Lomachenko being able to deal with the jab. Now, unlike Kambosos, who could not get past the jab for whatever reason, he could not slip the jab. Lomachenko can slip the jab. And Lomachenko can get in. Like, Lomachenko fought the right guy. See, this is how you prepare for a tough opponent or a guy that's considered a tough opponent. You fight something similar to that to get you ready. The guy that Lomachenko fought was the best guy that he can fight. That was the best thing that ever happened to him. That guy was able to last that long and fight that really good fight that he fought versus Lomachenko. Because that guy does a lot of things that Devin Haney does. He does a lot of things. Now, Devin Haney's not going to fade down the stretch like this, like the kid did. But Devin Haney jabs like this kid was doing, fast like this kid was doing. Devin Haney don't throw many combinations. This kid was throwing a lot of combinations. Devin Haney don't throw a lot of combinations. Devin Haney is more like a 1-2, throw a hook. Devin Haney he doesn't do a whole lot of countering. He'll counter every now and then, but he stayed behind that jab, which is very effective for him. He worked everything off the jab. So one thing I like about Lomachenko is he not only closed the distance with his feet. A lot of people can close distance with their feet, but he actually brings punches with his closing of his distance, which is way more effective than just closing distance with your feet. And then when you're there, you're not ready to punch. See, a lot of guys close the distance with their feet, and then when they get in front of the guy, they're not ready to punch. See, they close the gap, and then they got to wait a couple seconds, then they got to punch. By that time, the guy is out of there. When you close the gap on Devin Haney, and then you got to wait to get in there to punch, by that time, he's gone. He didn't already got his punches off. He's gone. See, Lomachenko, he closes the gap, and he punches, man. That's what I like about Lomachenko. He closes the gap with punches. And now, it's not going to be an easy fight for Lomachenko by no stretch of the imagination because Devin Haney is young, hungry. He just got the titles about a year ago, early this year, whatever. So, yes, he's going to come in and fight a really good fight. Lomachenko is going to have to be on his best. He's going to have to be on his best. He's going to have to be sharp. He's going to have to be in and out. He's going to have to counter the jab to make Devin Haney do something else. Now, if he come in and he counter the jab enough and make Devin Haney do something else, it's going to be a long night for Devin Haney. But Devin Haney, his thing is going to be keeping Lomachenko out on the distance, fighting them long range, keeping the jab on him, keep the jab pumping on him. Now, that's one thing Devin Haney does. He pumps that jab. So I'm eager to see that fight. I'm eager to see what happens to that fight. I'm gonna talk about the return of Deontay Wilder. He knocked out Helenius. That was a great knockout. Helenius was coming off a 2-fight win streak versus that Polish guy. What's that guy name? He was undefeated, but he came off beating that guy twice, and Deontay Wilder came back to his credit. Deontay Wilder went back to down to about 220, 215, where he should be. To me, that was a big mistake when he tried to see. And this is what guys, this is why I have a problem with guys putting on weight when they're not used to having that weight. It slows you down. Your body is not used to it. You're going to get tired in the ring. Deontay Wilder was used to fighting about 115 to 120. For Tyson Fury, I believe by the time he got to that last Tyson Fury fight, he was 230, 240. That's too much weight, man. You cannot outbig the big man. Let me say this again to these fighters out there. Don't try to outbig the big man. Don't try to get bigger than the big man. Joseph Parker made that mistake when he fought Joe Joyce. Joseph Parker was at his last fight, I believe Joseph Parker was like 240 or 235 or something like that. I believe for that fight that he fought against Joe Joyce, he was 250, 255, or something like that, because he was trying to get big like Joe Joyce. No, don't stifle your advantages to try to get close to another person's advantage, because you're never going to be bigger or stronger than that guy, even if you put on some weight. All you're going to do is, if you was faster, all you're going to do is lower your chances of having your speed. So, and look, Joe Joyce put on a great performance, man. Look, Joe Joyce he's awkward and he looks slow, but it's just something about Joe Joyce that he just get the job done. He's a grinder. He can take a punch. He can jab. He can box. He can punch himself. I know a lot of people say that they believe or they think that Deontay Wilder will beat Joe Joyce. I think that's a long day for Deontay Wilder. Hey, y'all, I'll be right back. So I'm back, y'all. I'm back. So yeah, I would like to see Joe Joyce and Deontay Wilder. I think that's a tremendous fight. You know what I'm saying? That's a great fight. I want to see. Now, Helenius never hit Wilder, so I don't know how Wilder is going to react to somebody hitting him back. You know, I don't think Helenius landed one punch. So, yes, I commend Wilder for having the performance. That's the performance that Wilder is accustomed to having that type of performance. He's a knockout artist. You know, either he gonna get knocked out or he gonna knock you out. So he got Robert Helenius this time. I want to see Dillian White versus Wilder. All these heavyweights, y'all just need to just start mixing it up, man. I mean, y'all can't. There's nowhere to go. I've never seen heavyweights go down. Now, some people, Chris Bird, that's who I was thinking of yesterday. Chris Bird went back down, but we seen how he looked when he tried to go to. I think Chris Bird tried to even go down to. Didn't Chris Bird try to go down to middleweight or something? He was looking all skinny and lost. But nevertheless, I would like to see these dudes, man, get in there and mix it up. But I don't know. My guy Zone, he think that Wilder, the only person Wilder gonna lose to ever is Fury. I beg to differ. I think a lot of these guys out here will give Wilder a run for his money, like Joe Joyce, Usyk, People look at Usyk like, oh, they look at him like he's small, but Usyk is not small. Usyk is about 6'3". What? Usyk is about 6'3", 230. He he's the same. He's the same height and about the same. Actually, he was bigger than Holyfield when Holyfield turned became a heavyweight. I believe when Holyfield became a heavyweight, I believe Holyfield was like 220, 225, maybe, or maybe 220. Because Holyfield went on this weightlifting program to get bigger. I remember that. So Usyk got skills, man. Usyk can fight. He can go in there and he can tame these heavyweights with his skill level. And you would not look at him and say, well, he may not be a devastating puncher, but he can punch. If a guy 200 something pounds, what's up, Pipe Low? If a guy 200 something pounds hits you in the face, man, that guy can hurt you. A guy 190 pounds can hurt you if he hits you in the face. A guy 185 pounds, a middleweight, if he hit a heavyweight in the face the right way, he can knock out a heavyweight. So Usyk, you may look at him and say, well, he's not a devastating puncher, but man, Usyk is fast. He's slick in there. He's awkward. He got kind of like this awkward, bouncy style. So yeah, I would like to see Usyk fight Wilder. I'd like to see him fight Tyson Fury. Now I'm hoping that Tyson Fury fight Usyk next. I know Tyson Fury fighting Derek Chisora again. I don't know. For the life of me, I don't know why he's fighting Derek again for the third time. He already beat him twice. I'm trying to figure out why. I just think because Derek Chisora does sell good over there in the UK. I just think Tyson Fury want to generate some money, because what are you going to get? What is his legacy going to get out of beating Derek Chisora for the third time? Now I see if Derek Chisora won a fight versus Tyson Fury and this is like the rubber match. No, I'm trying to figure out in boxing history when a guy fighting a guy three times and the guy that he's fighting three times never won a fight in the trilogy. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Do y'all know two fighters that fought three fights and only one person won all three fights? I know it happened with Sugar Ray Robinson when he fought what's the name 4 or 5 times, and I think what's up, man? Hit the link, y'all. Hit the link. Get up in here. Phil, I see y'all in the chat. Hype Low, Zone, hit the link. I'll get y'all up in here. Let's go. I'm trying to figure out why Tyson Fury is fighting Derek Chisora. Nevertheless, it's just good to see Tyson Fury, I guess, busy, because Tyson Fury really doesn't get this busy. So it's probably good. Yeah, the first fight was good. First fight was good, but I'm trying to figure out how many times it's been 3 fights versus 2 fighters, and only one fighter won all 3 fights. This is new. This is new to me. This is new. This is something new. But nevertheless, like I said, I just think Tyson Fury is just trying to get a little money, because Derek Chisora does sell pretty good out there in the UK. Who else I want to talk about? I want to now they saying Tank and Ryan Garcia is going to fight. I don't know, man. See, when it comes to Ryan Garcia, man, I heard somebody call Stephen A. Smith called Ryan Garcia a great fighter. And I'm like, man, Stephen A., you don't know nothing about boxing. What makes Ryan Garcia a great fighter? He hasn't done anything. All Ryan Garcia, the biggest thing Ryan Garcia has been doing is getting Instagram followers. He got a lot of followers. So, what's up? Can you hear me, Phil? Phil. Hold on. Can you hear me? You got your mic mute? Unmute your mic, Phil. Let me see. Oh, okay. So okay, Phil, you in. But I'm trying to figure out
What's the deal, man? You can hear
what's
me
up.
loud and clear?
What's up? Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the gist of this news between Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. Are they gonna fight or are they not gonna fight? Or are they gonna just keep on playing us with this whole charade or they might fight it, they not gonna fight? What you think about it?
Well, first let me comment on this real quick. I think as far as Tyson Fury, I don't think Fury is going after the money grab. What I think he's doing is he's helping his buddy Derek Chisora out, right? He's giving him an opportunity um to make a good payday because obviously Derek Chisora it's not like he's ranked high in the sanctioning bodies and anybody's going to mandate him. That has happened when he's gotten a title shot or fight a high level of, hey, this is a good guy to get into the ring with, right? Him and Dillian White, him and Usyk, obviously him and Tyson Fury back in the day. I mean, he's never got a title shot, right? So I think what Tyson Fury is doing is giving him a chance to get a big payday and giving him a good title shot, all within being a credible opponent. Obviously, he's already beat the guy twice, but still, I do think Derek Chisora is a bit. I think he's a bit different now later in his career than he was at the beginning. I think he's a little more focused and everything, and it might end up being a pretty decent fight. I still think Tyson Fury stops him, but I just think he's just kind of helping out one of his buddies, man. Because really, Derek Chisora really was the first guy to push Tyson Fury to that threshold, right during that first fight. I think he has a lot of respect for the guy, and before he even scheduled this fight, he says, I got about 3 more fights in me. Derek Chisora is going to be one of them. And obviously, I want to get Anthony Joshua out the way, and then I'll have me a wild card fight. Fury's always said that from the beginning, and even before the last Wilder fight. And, I guess he's just been a man of his word at this point. So, no, I don't think Tyson Fury going for a money grab. I think he's pretty well off as far as his finances are concerned. And I mean, he's the best heavyweight in the world. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you really want to go for a money grab, you go get in there with AJ, and you really can run up the scope.
So you just think he's just throwing Derek Chisora a bone. Throwing him a
Yeah,
bone.
he's throwing. Yeah. That's his homie, man. And he throwing him a bone because he got a lot of respect for the guy, you know.
Yeah, I got
And
a lot of respect.
obviously,
I got a lot of
yeah.
respect for I got a lot of respect for Derek Chisora. I'm just trying to figure out, do you know throughout boxing here history who guys that fought 3 times and neither one, I mean one of them won all 3? I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't remember.
Nah, I
It's
can't think of one.
unprecedented.
Nah, I can't think of one. But obviously, they hadn't fought the third time, so it may be a situation where it may be 2-1. Who knows? Who knows?
What's your thoughts on this Ryan Garcia and Tank, man? What's
Man, let me tell you something. I like I like not some of the things. I like most of the things that Ryan Garcia is saying in regards to making the fight. But this is my deal. We can say a lot of stuff, man. I need to see some action behind it. You understand what I'm saying? I need to know that this fight is actually going to happen, and both sides are trying to negotiate to make this a fight that boxing needs, right? Two guys, Ryan Garcia, a lot younger than Tank Davis, but is trying to establish himself, and I think Tank Davis is a good place to start to really let people know you here to stay, and you ain't going nowhere, you know. And obviously Tank Davis hadn't really impressed me much here of late. He went on a streak where I was like, okay, this kid may be trying to do something, but here of late, man, I think he's just been fighting against guys to get get nice sized purses. Most of the time, it's against some guy of a different ethnicity. Obviously, he just fought against Rolly Ramiro, which I don't even know if Rolly deserved the fight, but it was entertaining nevertheless. Um, I would have preferred him to slide Ryan Garcia into that slot. or maybe Devin Haney or Tiafimo or any of those guys before Rolly, because I think Rolly hadn't quite reached that level of success as those other guys, or at least the kind of buzz the other guys had gotten at the time. But yeah, I like the fight, man. I don't know if it's gonna happen, man, to be honest with you. But if it does, I got Tank stopping them.
Okay. Is Ryan Garcia, is he a free agent or is he with the zone?
Ryan Garcia is signed with the
Golden Boy.
Zone.
Golden Boy.
Yeah, with the Zone, Golden Boy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So
Now he switched his trainer. He's not with Eddie Reynoso anymore.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
See, to me, oh my God, to me, it's a bad move because Eddie Reynoso was saying that Ryan Garcia wasn't coming to the gym like he was supposed to, and Canelo. And Canelo really liked Ryan Garcia. He was taking Ryan Garcia under his wing. He said that he was telling Ryan Garcia, you got to start taking this stuff serious. You got to start coming to the gym when you're supposed to come to the gym. So, and I think Ryan Garcia, and I think because Canelo and Eddie Reynoso was in public saying it, I think he got a little upset. Maybe they should have went behind closed doors and told him, like, look, man, you're not coming to the gym like you're supposed to. You got to take this stuff serious. If you want to get to another level, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get to that next level, this is what you got to do, A, B, and C. I think because they can't, you know what? Probably it was when things get so bad that the public start hearing, that means behind closed doors, the pot was already boiled over. Because once it started getting to us,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think they probably did say that. They probably did have those talks with him. I don't see Eddie Reynoso just coming out and saying these things about Ryan Garcia, or Ryan Garcia coming out and saying these things about Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez, and they hadn't had any conversations about it, right? I think the conversations had been had, and like you just said, you mentioned the pot had probably already boiled over. Excuse me for my interruption. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good. You can just chime in. Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, why are you leaving Andy Reynoso, who you already like Canelo? Canelo is nothing like having a mentor like Canelo, who's still at the top of his game, and you seeing how he trains, how he prepares, how he how he approaches things. To me, when you leave something like that, structured like that, that's telling me that you probably don't like structure. You probably just want to do what. And look, you can do it how you want to do it. It's your career. It's his career. Go ahead. You can talk to him for a minute. It's your career. So you can do whatever you want to do with your career. I'm just saying, for Ryan Garcia to lead some success like that, and seeing success that Canelo and Eddie Reynoso have, to me, it's a red flag, man. Ryan Garcia's whole career is a red flag for me. Because, first of all, he came in, we know he's this tall kid, 5'10", with a nice hook. He doing all these Instagram videos showing that how much speed he got. And that's fine that you got speed. That's fine. That's good. And then, we know he's with Golden Boy, and we know what that come with Golden Boy, because Oscar got credibility in his boxing game. So he kind of running off that name. And then when you go to Eddie Reynoso and them, and then you leave that structure, man. What you think about that, man? What you think about that move?
Man, I think that every now and again, man, I think, having a proper trainer fighter relationship is important, right? Let's be honest about it. I mean, Eddie Reynoso has his hands tied up with Canelo Alvarez. Also has his hands tied up with Frank Sanchez. Then you throw a fighter in there like Ryan Garcia. I think Ryan Garcia is the kind of guy that may need a little bit of extra attention, and Eddie Reynoso is not finna babysit a grown ass man. So I don't think that relationship was there from the beginning. Obviously, going into it, I think on the surface, Ryan Garcia saw the potential that working with Eddie Reynoso in a camp like Canelo Alvarez with all his great talents, I think on the surface he was excited about it, and he knew how invaluable that experience could be. But once you get in there and you realize you have a lot of growing up to do, and this guy Eddie Reynoso is not going to sit here and babysit you because he's used to working with guys that wants to be the best in the world, and they don't need any kind of motivation to get up in the morning to try to achieve that goal. You understand what I'm saying? And his job is to train fighters. And if you're not taking your job serious enough, Eddie Reynoso is not going to waste his time with you. So I think Ryan Garcia on the surface saw something that was a good opportunity, but he just at that particular time, I don't think he was mature enough to handle it because the kind of trainer Eddie Reynoso is. He's experienced and he wants guys that's gonna listen, that's gonna get up every morning and go get it. If Eddie Reynoso has to tell you to come to the gym, you're probably going to the wrong gym. That's all I'm saying.
Great point. Great point. What you think about a potential fight between Spence and Keith Thurman? Because Jose Suleiman said at the next convention, I don't know if they had it yet or whatever, that he's going to make Keith Thurman the mandatory. And we all know that Keith Thurman gave up the title for Sean Porter and Danny Garcia to fight. And then not Eddie Reynoso, but Jose Suleiman said that Keith Thurman was going to be champion in merit.
Yeah. Well, see, this is the deal right here with that entire situation. I think because it's been so long and a lot has happened, I think people low-key slick forgot about that particular situation, which is one that, obviously if you follow Keith Thurman, and it's been in the works in out there since he relinquished the title, right? Since he said, okay, part of that relinquishment was, hey, I want to have the ability once I get healthy to call on whoever the champion is, and can you guys promise me that you're going to mandate that fight? Okay. Jose Suleiman is obviously holding up his end of the bargain, right? He's also talked to all the other sanctioning bodies, and he has priority over the IBF and the WBA. So when he makes this announcement, it's going to be real. It's going to be legit. This is something that Spence knew all along was a potential to happen, right? To me, that would make even more sense to even make the Terence Crawford fight happen more because Jose Suleiman is not going to interfere with a undisputed fight, right? So at the end of the day, we all know that Spence says he's never going to fight against Keith Thurman, and that's just unfortunate because that's still in all. To me, if you don't give us the Crawford fight, I think Keith Thurman is probably a good, second, maybe third place kind of opponent that you can slide in there, right?
That's a great transition. I wanted to talk about that. Okay, so what do you think about Spence saying that he don't want to fight Keith Thurman? What's your thought?
I think it's bullshit. I support Errol Spence Jr. as far as his endeavor and what he's accomplished in the welterweight division, but I do not support his decision to not fight another top-rated welterweight, especially a welterweight that's been mandated to fight you that you say you don't like. So if you don't like him, I say you go ahead and you stop his ass. But that's just me. And I don't think Errol Spence is going to fight him, man. I think Errol Spence is probably going to either move up to 154 or he's going to put himself in a position to have that belt taken from him.
This is my whole thing, and I understand that. I've seen the history from the ground up with these two, from the moment that when Adrian Broner lost and Floyd Mayweather came out there where Errol Spence put his arms around Errol Spence and said, "Look, I want you and Keith Thurman to fight, and I'll put up my belt. I'll relinquish my title so y'all can fight for it." And I remember Keith Thurman saying that he wanted Mayweather. His mind was on Mayweather. His mind wasn't on, because at this time, we all know that I think at this time, if I'm not mistaken, Errol Spence was only 16-0 at this time. I believe Errol Spence was still in the contender, he was kind of like in the prospect stage, still kind of, he was about to cross over to contender. If he wasn't there, he had just stepped his foot in there. but he wasn't nobody that to me that I was urging for Keith Thurman to fight, because at that time Keith Thurman still had not fought. I believe Keith Thurman at that time still probably had not fought Sean Porter at that time. Or he probably still haven't fought. I know he didn't fight Danny Garcia at that time, but I know he still haven't fought Sean Porter. So Errol Spence wasn't in Keith Thurman immediate plans. That's what I'm gonna say. He wasn't in Keith Thurman immediate plans, and people are trying to put Errol Spence at that time when he was 16-0. They trying to put him in Keith Thurman immediate plans. Keith Thurman plans was Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, and Sean Porter. That was his focus, right? Just like now that Enos is calling out Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, and Errol Spence saying he don't want to fight Enos. That he only got one or two more fights at welterweight, or maybe one, then he's moving up. But you got on Keith Thurman for not fighting you, though. See, that's what I'm saying. And Enos got more fights than you at the point that he calling you out. And plus, Enos he's right behind Keith Thurman in the WBC rankings. So as of right now, Enos is higher than what you was when you was calling out Keith Thurman, but you said you want to fight Enos. So he don't want to fight Enos. He don't want to fight Keith Thurman. He don't want to fight Enos. He don't want to fight Keith Thurman. Who do he want to fight?
Go ahead. Enos is sitting at number 3. Ortiz is sitting at number 2, right behind Keith Thurman. The thing about it is, man, Enos is just kind of one of those guys that he's been very, very patient. Let me first of all start by saying that, right? Enos has been very, very patient. He's been letting these divas do diva shit for quite some time, excuse my language. And he's kind of at this point in time, he's kind of fed up with it. And I don't blame him, right? So and he has a lot of pressure on him as well, because people are saying, well, I mean, your biggest step up fight was freaking what's the kid who Mikey Garcia ended up beating? He fought at 140. Was a champion at 140. I can't think his name, but
who biggest fight?
Lipinets.
Lipinets, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, Lipinets has probably been his biggest fight year to date, right? I think didn't he fight Delorme as well?
Yeah, he fought.
Yeah, I think he's fought Delorme as well. But Delorme hadn't been good in a very long time. So although I still think it's a credible win, I just think that he understands that people are critiquing him and criticizing him as well, saying like, you really hadn't fought anybody. So he's feeling that pressure. And he's kind of been sitting and waiting and everything for these guys to handle their business, like a true player should, you know what I'm saying? Because he knows his time is coming. But when they start doing like they're doing now, I think Enos is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to come knocking on the door of both those guys who have the straps. And right now, that's Errol Spence Jr. and that's Terrence Crawford. I think he does want to fight those guys because I think he really believes that he can beat them. But look, man, at the end of the day, what Spence is doing with that WBC belt and potentially not fighting Keith Thurman, I just think it's just sad and it's horrible, man. I mean, because if you really didn't like the dude, you go in there, you split his head open, and you keep it moving. And that's another great scalp to have on your resume, because if you don't have Crawford, you don't have Thurman, you have actually missed out on 2 of the best heavyweights of your era. That drastically drains your legacy.
The 2 welterweights.
Yeah, 2 welterweights. That you have missed out on 2 of the best welterweights of your era. And that will drain your legacy, although you were a 3-time champion. Like, because that's always going to be a dark cloud looming over your head. Even if you don't win the fight, I still think you need to get in there and let the world see what it is. But, hey, I'm just, I work 80 hours a week. I'm 40 hours a week, so I don't really know what's going on in a fighter's head. But just as speaking from a real dude's perspective, yeah, man, I wanna get in there with the best of the best, man. Especially if I'm calling myself the cream of the crop and the boogeyman.
Yeah, I got so far as Boots Ennis, I think Boots Ennis got shit to do. He's starting off like everybody else, coming straight to the top, whining and bitching and complaining. Dude, you think I believe anything you say about doing right by the division when you ain't fought Ortiz and Evanesian and cleaned up those guys at that level? This the same pattern over and over. Some new hot shot come in, he get a couple of cooler, awesome victories with posing and styling and profiling with a glittery ass costume on. Then because he looked the part, now we talking about this nigga ready for the top. How? Clean up the people around you, man. Fight Rashidi Ellis. Why are you so worried about Crawford and them? Stop. I'm tired of that, because then what we do is we remove him out of the pool of fighting the people that he's supposed to be fighting. Just like Morrell, like the same thing 168. Like I like Morrell and stuff like that, and I get it. I know motherfuckers grab a title, and if he ready, he ready. But sometimes we be putting some of these motherfuckers in the wrong place at the wrong time. Show me that you go clean up the guys that's on your level first. Then I would suspect that you would do that on a higher level. Because all these guys clean up the Paula Malinagis, the Bertos, the Kell Brooks, the Amir Khans. Clean up your people in your direct area. I want to see Rashidi Ellis versus Boots Ennis. And I don't know why people are not talking about that enough. We keep trying to put Boots. I don't think Crawford is ducking Boots. I don't think Spence is ducking Boots. I don't think no one's ducking fucking Boots at all. Boots ain't done shit. And that's not to hold him back, because I got something for him to do. I want to see you fight Rashidi Ellis and motherfucking Ortiz, and I want to see you fight Stanionis. Okay? That's what I want to see. I don't want to see nothing else.
And Lopez as well.
And see, and then Lopez, he got shit to do at that level, that second tier level. I don't want to see him mixed up. Keith Thurman could be fighting Ugas. That's an overdue fight as well too. While Crawford and Spence supposed to be fighting, of course. But we understand that Keith Thurman could be a good substitute. Keith Thurman could be a dude that you drop in there to fight Errol Spence. And I still don't understand why Errol Spence don't want to fight him. But I believe he never wanted to fight him. I believe he just rode that wave just because it was a hot wave. And I think now that he realized Keith Thurman actually wants to fight him back, it's a surprise to him. Because somebody don't told you that this man, you got in your head that this man was actually scared of you. That's what you believe. Now he's saying he want to fight you. Because let's be honest about this shit. As flawed as Keith Thurman is, Errol Spence ain't fought nobody that could crack his shit. See, because everybody who Errol Spence fought, we ain't really considered them to be no dangerous puncher. We ain't really consider them to be a speeding person. Like the tangibles that is required to beat Errol Spence. Nobody ain't had that shit. Nobody went really. Sean Porter, cool. He smothered his works. He
Yeah.
Danny Garcia.
I think Danny had the power. He just didn't have the skill set to deliver the punch.
Right. And he was
Yeah.
solid. Errol Spence didn't separate himself from Danny Garcia. They just had a good, nice, clean fight. Danny held his ground, held his posture, and it was what it was. Sean Porter had a good one with him too. That's respectable. But Keith Thurman is something entirely different. Now we know Keith Thurman is soft to the body, and then Errol Spence, we visualize Errol Spence coming, walking down, busting that body. Okay, that's cool. That's his past success. But when Keith Thurman get to swinging them hooks and tapping Errol Spence on his chin, and everybody around here saying this man hit hard than a motherfucker, yeah, that's gonna be a problem, man. That's gonna be a problem. So we'll see. Them motherfuckers that like Keith Thurman don't bust you up to the body as well too. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't think he want to fight him. I just don't think same reason he don't want to fight Crawford. The styles are just not good for Errol Spence.
Hey, Zon,
Yeah.
what you think about Wilder's comeback? What's your thoughts?
Oh, I like Wilder coming back. I mean, just he can't fuck with Tyson Fury. That's established. Now it's just time for him and I would like to see him and Dillian White. Dillian White want to fight. That's a good one. I want to see the Anthony Ruiz fight, which is supposed to be next. And I want to see him and Joshua get it on. And I don't mind Usyk. Shit, there's a juggernaut out there. Wilder can have a second leg of his career just like George Foreman or Ali. He can have the tale of two careers. I mean, the first half capped you off with getting your ass whooped by Fury. Okay, no shame in that. Then running shit back on everybody else like you're doing, like Helenius, get your Kanowskis in there, get your Ruizes in there, get your Usyk, get your Joshua on the second leg of your career and become champion again. He might not never become undisputed, but he probably can, you know, grab an IBF title and make a run over there to make some legacy for himself.
So you hold on to that you think nobody else is beating Wilder but Fury. You think Wilder can handle everybody else?
Yeah, ain't nobody can beat no Wilder outside of Fury.
What about somebody like a hold on. Yeah. What about Andy Louise matchup?
Stoppage.
You think that's a stoppage?
Whatever heavyweight you want to put in that spin wheel, and the answer gonna be stoppage.
So you don't think so? Now look, Wilder did not get hit in his last fight at all.
Stoppage.
You know, so I want to see Wilder get hit and see how he react after he get hit, because I really do believe, and I do believe this. I believe Tyson Fury put some long-lasting damage on him. And I think it's only going to show up when he get in there that somebody going to punch him. That's going to punch him back. It's going to hit him. Robert Helenius didn't hit him. Now that's credit to Wilder, because Wilder walked him into that punch. It was beautiful the way Wilder walked him to the punch. So I'm not getting on Wilder for not getting hit. I'm just saying he didn't get hit. I want to see someone that's going to hit. Andy Louise is going to hit him. Now, and one thing I do like about Andy Louise, because a lot of people, I think, underestimate Andy Louise when they look at his pop, when they look at his body. You know what I'm saying? They look at him like, he doesn't look like a fighter. Andy Louise can punch. Andy Louise can take a punch. Andy Louise can go in there, and him and Wilder can have this fight to where, you know, people look at it like, wow. Now, I don't think, now, what you're saying right now, I think it's going to be a stoppage. I think this fight is going to be a stoppage. I don't know who's going to get stopped. But I don't think this fight is going to go to the cards, because I don't think Wilder is not, I'm not saying he's not capable of doing it, but ever since the first Vern fight, he doesn't fight behind his jab no more. Wilder's done fighting behind his jab. Wilder is so believing in his power that it's hard to get him to do something as simple as fight behind your jab to set up your power punch. He don't want to do that. Wilder want to throw that power punch whenever he wants to throw it. And sometimes, a lot of times, 90-some% of the time, it worked for him. It just didn't work for him. You right, versus Tyson Fury. So that's why people got in their mind the only person that can beat him is Tyson Fury. I don't think the only person that can beat him is Tyson Fury. I think Joe Joyce will give him problems. Joe Joyce is another tall, UK, strong-minded UK fighter that can fight. He fights tall. He fights behind a really good jab. Now, I know you have seen Joe Joyce. Now, Joe Joyce is not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. He's just not. He's not one of those guys where you're going to be like, oh, man, look what he's doing. No, but he just grinds people. For some reason, he just grinds people. And by the 6th or 7th round, these people are like out on their feet. For some reason, either he can punch, he got heavy hands, and we just can't really see it. Or I don't know, man. What's your thoughts? Do you think the only person that Wilder can lose to is Fury, or you see some other potential out there?
You know, let me say this right here. I do see some other issues and roadblocks in front of Deontay Wilder. I think Andy Ruiz could be a potential roadblock. I think Andy Ruiz is a very explosive fighter. You understand what I'm saying? But we all see what happens when you can just keep Andy Ruiz behind the jab, right? If Deontay Wilder can get in there and keep Andy Ruiz behind the jab, he shouldn't have any problems with him. Line up that laser sharp right hand, and we could see a potential stoppage. But if Wilder potentially lets Andy Ruiz get inside of him and work that speed, then, you know, he may have some problems on his hands, right? But still in all, I think Andy Ruiz could potentially give him some issues because he is an explosive fighter. But I think Deontay Wilder should be able to beat him. Joe Joyce, I think Joe Joyce gets stopped because his fighting style is just tailored for Deontay Wilder. I mean, he's coming forward. He doesn't have crazy footwork. It's just a situation where, you know, you got a chin, but can your chin continuously take Deontay Wilder right hands all night? And I don't think his chin is gonna stand up to it. Deontay Wilder has a speed advantage. I think he's more athletic. I think I do like the juggernaut, but I mean at the end of the day, I just don't think his skill set is gonna prove a win versus a guy like Deontay Wilder. I mean, that's just my opinions on it. But I do like the juggernaut. Who else we got? Usyk. I think Usyk could potentially give Deontay Wilder some problems because, I mean, he boxes really well, right? Deontay Wilder has issues with boxers. Now, the only issue that Usyk will run into is can you withstand a Deontay Wilder right hand? We all see it's been proven that you can, if you get last 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder, you have a great and high potential of winning the fight, right? That fight right there, I think, will be determined whether Usyk can take a Deontay Wilder punch or not, which most fights do, right? So I like the Usyk fight, but I'm in agreement with Zone that Deontay Wilder has already lost twice. That seal has already been popped on it. I think he can snatch up a title on his second back end of his career, and I think he can make some noise. He can make some noise. And obviously, you still got AJ out there, Dillian White, those guys. I think he stops Dillian White without a doubt. Yeah.
I'm sorry, the person you were.
Okay, well, I think the best way to fight Deontay Wilder is to come forward behind your jab. I don't think it's good to fight Deontay Wilder largely just from the outside, because if he get extension on that right hand, more than likely it's going to hurt you real bad. I think Joe Joyce's style, now he's a plotter, but I think his style gives him a chance to beat Wilder because he comes forward. That's how Tyson Fury decided to fight Deontay Wilder. When Tyson Fury was on the outside, he was having some problems on the outside. When Tyson Fury said, okay, I'm going to come on the inside of this guy, I'm going to smother his power, I'm going to pick up the sight of his right hand. That was the best shit. That's the best way to beat Wilder, is to come forward. And as silly as it sounds, but that's the best way to beat Wilder. I think Joe Joyce coming forward, Joe Joyce doesn't look like he can do much really good things in the ring. He just really don't. But I think that man is very heavy-handed, because when he jabs people, he moves these heavyweights. Like, he moves these guys. So if he fight behind his jab, he got a great chance to beat Wilder. He got a great chance. Now, if he go in there and try to fight with Wilder, and thinking he finna, throw all power punch, then, he leaves himself vulnerable. He gonna get knocked out. But if he go in there and fight a smart fight and fight behind his jab, Joe Joyce got a great chance to beat Wilder, man. I mean, he really does have a great chance to beat Wilder. And I just think Joe Joyce he's more fresher. I'm telling y'all, those 3 fights, especially those last 2 fights, I believe Tyson Fury put something on. I believe Tyson Fury.
So let me ask you this, Wayne. So who is the 3 opponents? And this is a question for you too, Zone. Who's the 3 opponents that you think will give Deontay Wilder the most problem, or 2 opponents?
I got 3. I got Joe Joyce. I got this Andy Louise fight. This is a dangerous fight. I still got Joshua. I know people down on Joshua. It's easy to be down on the person when they lose. I get it. It's hard to say what he going, because I remember when Joshua was undefeated, some people had him beating Wilder. Now all of a sudden they got Joshua not winning, period. But I still got Joshua giving him problems. But go ahead, Zon.
Yeah, I don't got nobody. I think it's gonna be the same. Wilder finna go on a knockout streak of good, credible opponents this time, more credible than the previous run. I think it's gonna be tale of 2 careers. I think he gonna stretch a lot of people out, high level names. I think if he touch Anthony Joshua with anything, Anthony Joshua is a quitter. Anthony Joshua don't believe in taking punishment no more at this point. He's got to a point where he's cool with losing. He's good with that. He's satisfied. He had a meltdown in the ring last fight about how cool it is to lose, and he's okay and he's fine with him. You're gonna get your ass stopped. And I want you to have that same cool, I'm okay, I'm a millionaire, and these are my brothers attitude when they carting you out on the stretcher. So we cool on that. So when he lose, I ain't got nothing to worry about on that. And Ruiz gonna get knocked the fuck out too. And Ruiz is cool and he's straight, but Wilder too long and a little too sloppy. And people, and if you can't control that wild, sloppy power shit, you're gonna have a problem, because at some point, at some time, Wilder's gonna catch you with something, and he can catch you with any type of punch. It's not like we're talking about just his right hand. Everybody get a right hand credit, but he catch you on counters. He catch you on that wild ass lead left, or that lead left hook. He catch you sometime with that jab when he finally throws it. He catch you with a lot of punch. Then he got that windmill punch where he come all the way like he Marcos Maidana from over the top of his head, swinging all wild, and he catch you with that, you going to sleep. The only person that can neutralize a lot of him is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury know how to grab him, smother him up, lean on him, wear him down. He neutralizes the right hand. He reduces him down to a right hand, and then Tyson Fury can move. And Tyson Fury also got a chin and heart, and Tyson Fury got all the intangibles that just go against what Deontay Wilder's existence is all about in the boxing ring. Everybody else don't have those tangibles. And then Tyson Fury is bigger and longer and just as long as him. So dudes like Ruiz and Joshua, those compact, blocky niggas, they're not gonna have no success, man, because they're not fluid enough. They're just not. Wilder, I say Dillian White will have the better chance because he's so reckless, and because he'll come in there and get up under Deontay Wilder's chin and might tap it. You see what I'm saying? But outside of that, man, I don't see nobody with the dynamics or the body structure or the physical attributes to exploit Wilder and stop him from knocking him out. Nobody. I don't see it.
Hey, sorry, I should have put Usyk in there too. I got Usyk in there too.
He gonna be even worse. That's be a great scout for Deontay Wilder. He'll knock him out in the first round too. He too. Not it ain't because he's small. It actually applies in this situation. It's just too small. He just don't have the range. His movement can be neutralized with Wilder's range, and people gotta understand it. Wilder's a fast motherfucker too. Wilder's not a big, slow punch throwing ass heavyweight. Wilder let them shits fly, and them shits come pretty fast. It's just that Tyson Fury makes it look so good because he's so big and fast as well too. But the rest of these guys don't have that ability to move out of harm's way like Tyson Fury does. So you need that as a weapon when you fight Deontay Wilder. You need to be able to duck and dodge and tire him out, because Wilder's like Clubber Lang. That's exactly who he is. He's Clubber Lang 2.0. So if you're gonna allow him to bust your arms and your head up and your gut up, you're gonna take some damage. But if you allow him to miss, and make him pay like Tyson Fury did when he stopped his ass, then that's what you need to do. But if you ain't doing that, man, you finna get stopped, man.
Yeah. This is what I will say. I agree with a lot of stuff that Coach K just said. But the main thing that I agree with is that the dimensions of Deontay Wilder, right? The dimensions of Deontay Wilder has allowed him to get away with a lot of stuff. Can you guys hear me clear? I'll just switch my earpiece.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think the dimensions of Deontay Wilder has allowed him to get away with a lot of stuff, and I think guys pose no threat to those dimensions. Right. This is one of the reasons why Tyson Fury gives him so many problems in at the end of the day. But I think, guys, and I also agree with Wayne when you said I think the best way to fight Deontay Wilder is to come forward. So the guys that I think could potentially give Deontay Wilder is probably Andy Ruiz, I'd probably say Andy Ruiz. I would probably say man, maybe Dillian White. But Dillian White chin so soft, man. I don't see him really giving Wilder problems either, man. Because Wilder's going to eventually catch him, and it's going to be a wrap. Yeah, man. Andy, really, man. Andy Ruiz and potentially maybe Usyk and AJ. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think AJ maybe because AJ dimensions will allow him to do certain things that other guys can't do, and he can box a little bit. He does have decent power. But man, it's not a lot of work out there that I think is going to give Deontay Wilder issues, man. Because it's going to have to be a guy that has the combination of boxing skills, and he's going to have the dimensions in order to beat him. I don't see anybody right now that's going to that has both the dimensions and the boxing skills to beat him, outside of potentially Anthony Joshua, as far as the size and dimensions are concerned. And obviously, I like Andy Ruiz because he's super duper explosive. But yeah, man, that's kind of the way I see it right now, man.
Hey, Zone, I didn't get your thoughts on Keith Thurman, Errol Spence potentially matchup. Well, Errol Spence said, he don't want to fight Keith Thurman, but go ahead.
Been ducking Keith Thurman for years. He just did some reverse psychology shit to make people guess otherwise, and Keith Thurman ain't made it no better with his actions. I just think Errol Spence don't want to fight nobody with the right tangibles, like the right physical attributes. Like I think he like muscling up on guys who are short with no power, guys who are tall with no power, guys who are short with no speed. Like all his people to me that he's faced have major deficiencies in their abilities. Outside of Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. And those were the best two. Even Kell Brook, no, you can't take this away from Errol Spence. And I don't like what Kell Brook did. I don't like the fact that Kell Brook went up there, got his eye socket broke, sacrificed his O, and came in damaged against Errol Spence or off of a previous injury. I don't appreciate that Kell Brook did that because he robbed us of a better assessment of Errol Spence. You understand what I'm saying? I think that was square, but I'm not holding that against Errol Spence. Anybody like a Thurman or a Crawford, or I don't like to put Boots in this, but I'm just giving you what people think. Rashidi Ellis, those kind of guys are going to give each other fits because they have those tangibles, and they tend to kind of stay away from those kind of fights. I noticed that. Yeah, you're gonna get guys fighting Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia fight with his feet stuck in the mud. You just really dance all night on Danny Garcia, and you kind of safe. He ain't got nothing but the fucking hook, the no-look hook at that. You fuck around, catch his ass with an uppercut, he'd be out of here. Sean Porter ain't nothing but the little engine that could just push his little ass off and get the pounding on his ass. He gonna go down too. You know what I'm saying? As we saw. So those guys are all right, but they're not real, man. The truth is gonna be with Crawford, Thurman. Let's stop the bullshit, because those are the three styles that we really want to see clash. Come on, let's stop, because them three niggas, between them three dudes, they have cleaned up the division. Outside of Thurman pretty much dropping the ball on Pacquiao, and it wasn't so bad. Pacquiao, he did his thing. But then Ugas also whooped on Pacquiao. So we got good evidence between those 3-4 fighters right there. So I just want to see Errol Spence, Keith Thurman mix it up because of styles. I want to see Thurman and Crawford mix it up because of styles, and vice versa with Crawford and Errol Spence. So, but I just don't think Errol Spence want those kind of fight. I think even if we go to 154, we're gonna be seeing the same old. I don't think he's gonna fight a Charlo, because that's too much explosion, that's too much speed, power. It's somebody on your level, and I think Errol Spence like to fight a certain type of fighter, a fighter with a major chunk missing out of his fucking ass. Whether he's very slow, he's just false to me. I don't think he want to fight nobody like that.
What do you think about Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis potential fight?
I got Tank stopping Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is unstable. He's weird, and he play around way too much. He gonna get himself hurt. He's the new Amir Khan. A whole bunch of popularity with some good skinny hand speed, and the only thing he's gonna take is somebody to tap that chin, and he's out of here.
He said some good skinny hand speed.
Yeah, good old skinny hand speed, and he'll be up out of here shortly.
Oh man. What you think about Devin Haney and Loma? And what you think about Loma's performance of the night?
Yeah, I think it was a good performance. I think he just ran into a nigga who can fight like Ortiz. That's a good name on his resume. That's a good new guy. Ortiz is solid. And I think that Lomo, you can't win them all. You can't dominate them all. I mean, everybody ain't going for that shit. And this is what happens when you fight different styles. Going back to the previous point I was making about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, them mixing it up because it'll show you something different. And that's what Lomachenko always does. And people get on him about this and get on him about that. I don't understand why. The dude gonna lose. He's fighting the best. He's came into the game. He's done what he had to do. And people get to do the hard time. It don't matter if you think he's good or not. He at least is fighting the fights to give you that assessment. See, one thing when people say they don't like Lomachenko or they like Lomachenko, I respect it because you have enough data to support your opinion in his losses and in his wins, so I can rock with that. You know what I'm saying? So one thing you said about Lomo, he fighting the best people out there, the high level contenders. So I think he's just gonna get his ass whooped by Haney. I think Haney is fresher, younger, willing to go there and go there, push it to the limit. And I think he's also willing to stay on the outside and stank it out and get a decision too. So I just think Haney's gonna beat Lomachenko, and I think Tank gonna beat Ryan Garcia.
Those are some good points. Loma and Haney, I gave my thoughts earlier. I just believe that Loma now with Tio, I think with Tio when he had went 4 or 5 rounds without throwing a punch, it's because Tio, I think he was, I'm not gonna say he was intimidated, but he was very, very worried about Tio counter punching ability and his power. Because Tio does have power, he does have really good counter punching ability. Now, Devin Haney is a different fighter, but Devin Haney is very, very good at what he does. He's shown it against Kambosos. That jab is he's just really good with that jab. He got that jab and got the distance, and he's long. He's tall. He got good foot movement, so he got that jab down to a science. Now, one thing I don't like about Devin Haney is he doesn't counter a lot off the jab. Now, also, although in the last fight he was pushing the pedal to the metal a little bit more on Kambosos, but he doesn't throw enough counters. A lot of people don't counter punch. So throw a combination punches. I know it's not combination punches don't really exist in boxing no more. So I'm not gonna get on him about that. But I don't think he hooks off the jab. I don't think he does a lot of things off the jab other than really just be really effective with the jab. And he's really good with it he's shown it against Kambosos. One thing I like about Lomachenko is he closes the distance, not only with his feet, but he closes the distance with his hands. Lomachenko, when he closes distance on you, he's usually coming with punches. He's not just closing the distance just to get close to you. Then all of a sudden, y'all taking a picture and nobody does nothing. And the guy gets out of there. And now you got to close the distance again. Now it becomes a chasing match almost in the ring instead of, a lot of punches being thrown by the guy that's doing the cutting off. But I think Lomachenko actually cuts off the ring and throws punches. And I think that he's going to make Devin Haney have to do something different other than just win just primarily with his jab 90% of the time in the fight. And if he can neutralize Devin Haney's jab at least 50% of the time, get it down to about 50, maybe 60% of the time, and show and let see if Devin Haney gonna do something different, then I got Lomachenko. As long as he can get past that jab, I got Lomachenko winning the fight. Now it's not gonna be easy because, like you said, Devin Haney is younger. He's fresher. He's stronger. I mean, he's actually Devin Haney is a big lightweight. You know what I'm saying? And when I looked at kind of think about it, when I looked at Lomachenko fight that one dude, see, one thing about Pacquiao looked at small, but Pacquiao still was kind of solidly put together. Lomachenko is actually a little dude, man. I seen him in the ring with versus that one dude. I was like, whoa, Lomachenko is small, man. Like he is a small dude. I think 135 is really stretching it with him. I think he's pushing it. I think this is his limit. He can't go to 140. I don't see him fighting no Ramirez or no Josh Taylor or nobody like that. He definitely can't go to 47. I just think he's already pushing it at 35. And Devin Haney is a guy that in about another year and a half, he's probably going to be at welterweight. Shakur Stevenson probably. So he's really in a division with these young kids that really are going to be welterweights in about the next year or two. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough fight versus Devin Haney. Devin Haney is strong. He's long. He's well-schooled. He's defensive-minded. Like you said, he can stay on the outside and stink it up. He can decide to do that. So, yeah, and plus he's undisputed right now. So he walks into the ring, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying there's nothing bad, but he walks into the ring with a credible two rounds to 0. You know what I'm saying? That it just comes with the prestige of having all those titles. What do you think?
Well, for me personally, Devin Haney. Let's start there. I see this kind of thing, man. Devin Haney kind of is one of the guys that was underneath the radar. Let me start off by saying that, right? Everybody was real high on Tank. And even Ryan Garcia. Guys were real high on those guys. You know, Devin just kind of not necessarily kept his head down, but he had a mission on his mind, and he set out to accomplish that mission. He said, "Hey, I'm going to get ranked in one of the sanctioning bodies, and hopefully these guys mandate the fight." And he followed that plan, right? So he waited his time. He did everything right. And honestly, man, the kid can actually fight really, really well. So at the end of the day, man, hold on. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think that Devin Haney is a credible opponent for Lomachenko. It's a fight that was supposed to happen. I think if Lomachenko would have taken the fight when he was supposed to, I think he would have had a better chance of beating Devin Haney. I think now the momentum has swayed in the direction of Haney instead of Lomachenko, considering all the stuff that's happened here recently. But look, I mean, this is boxing. I think that Devin Haney is a great talent. I think Lomachenko is also a great talent. I think if anybody has the ability to get past the jab, it would be a guy named High Tech, right? So, with that being said, these two guys need to get into the ring with one another. But obviously, we know that in being inactive and just going through deterioration as you age will play a factor in your skill set, right? And I think Lomachenko is right on that borderline right now. And I think Devin is really just coming into himself and he's gaining momentum as far as being a great fighter. And he's sharpening his skill set with each and every fight that he gets. So right now I'm gonna have to lean towards Haney. But I wouldn't be surprised if Loma found a way to get around that jab and make something happen.
Man, this was a good one, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, but thanks for y'all. Thanks for coming through, man. We finally get some stuff on the wax. We know we behind closed doors getting a lot of stuff out, but we got some stuff on wax today, man. Shoot, I'm gonna fire it up again tomorrow, man. We're gonna get about an hour and a half in, try to get out here and bring some balance to this stuff, man. Thanks for coming through, y'all, though.
Hey, man, real quick, man, appreciate you having me on the show. Always, like you said, man, we normally do this personal kind of conversations amongst each other, but like you said, we got this on wax. And speaking of that, I'm putting it on wax. I want to stop Jake Paul. So if you see this video, come holler at me.
Oh, okay. You know what? The next the next live we do, we're gonna be Hey, look, we're gonna put some pressure on Jake Paul. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put pressure on Jake Paul to come on through and come on and fight Phil. He getting ready.
Yeah, we training.
Yeah, we're gonna get on that though. On the next one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Bet.
All right.